non-traditional thing I did at my wedding.
Okay. It looks as though we are live. Let me get to where I need to be. Okay. Well, so much for being 2 minutes early. I'm just going to wait for a few minutes and see if anybody joins. I don't blame anybody if they don't, because I've been a hot mess lately. A hot mess. I think I might have this under control, but we'll find out. Zoom and I are kind of feuding, and Zoom is on my short list right now. And so if no one joins me on the Zoom area, or I can get everyone else to just go to Facebook Live and YouTube Live, I might ditch this whole Zoom thing. I don't know. What do I know? All I know is this is crazy. Crazy. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out. It is Wednesday. I was going to say December. Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. My name is Leanne Furness, and it's Pottery Backwards. And I am an independent demonstrator from Rochester, Minnesota. I tried to do this yesterday. I got so frustrated, I quit. I went into the kitchen, made some vegetable soup, chopped a whole bunch of vegetables because I was like, "Urgh." And my husband was like, well, you're going to try again? I'm like, no, I had it. Urgh. So here I am, fresh, relaxed, and we're going to have some success. I know it. All right. So right now I am going to look and see that there are a couple people watching. Great. There's so many negatives and so many positives, but what I wanted to say is that I want to be able to see the people who join me on Zoom. I also want to be able to see what you see while I'm creating. So let's see here how this works. Drum roll, please. I should have had that queued up, right? The drum roll. Okay, so far, so good. I'm just double checking, waiting. Why is it? There, yay. Okay, so let's talk about reverse stamping. What the heck does that even mean? Well, let's find out. So on page 108 in our annual catalog, you will see the Sea Turtle stamp set. That's the one we're going to use today. This is actually not to the size. Everything else, like usually in the catalog, it's the right size. This is shown at 50%. This is shown at 100%. So just to give you a feel, like most of the images are at 100%. The thing I wanted to point out too is that these are photopolymer, which means you can see through them kind of. And then they want you to have these blocks. Now you don't have to have those blocks, but it does make stamping a lot easier. So we're going to do I. We're going to do E, D, and B. Now, again, you might have the stamp positioning tool that we used to sell or that other people sell. Who knows? I mean, you might have all kinds of other things, but I find that the tools you use make it life so much better, and you get a better image if you stamp with the right block size. All right. So because these are photopolymers, some people really have a hard time getting a good image. So this is our Stampin' Pierce mat that I've just kindly wrapped around grid paper so I don't get it all icky. And let me show you what I mean by reverse stamping. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this block. One side is smooth, like most of our blocks, our stamps, and then this side is bumpy. But what's so cool is that you can get both, you can use both images and they line up. So I'm going to go ahead and open the Pool Party. And I'm going to ink that up a little bit. Oof. And what this makes is just a plain blob. But then you clean it. That's the key. You got to clean it. Then you're going to go ahead, peel it off your block, and then line it up. Well, kind of line it up for the bubble side. Because if I do just the bubbles, this is what that looks like. And if you want to layer some bubbles over it, you can also do that. Because, you know, bubbles don't really land in the same place, right? So that's kind of the reverse stamping gist of it. I'm going to go ahead and move on to our first card, which I don't think I got to show in its entirety last night. So I'm hoping that this works better. Maybe it's just Wednesday. Maybe it's just Leanne. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Oh yeah, that's probably it. Okay, so this card is the one I'm going to show you that I'm going to make now. This is not on the buffet, but I'm going to show you kind of some fun little things and how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and move him out of my way. I have a Pool Party, you know, a typical Pool Party half sheet cardstock scored and ready to go. And what I want to do is I'm going to flip this over. I want to add the bubbles. Let's see if I can get that in here too. Wouldn't that be handy? Add the bubbles. Hot mess. Add the bubbles. Let's just say it 4 times together at the bottom. Well, heck, you could do it all over the place if you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and just do the bottom. And I'm going to add a little bit bigger bubble there. And again, I'm going to clean it. Now, the thing you're going to notice, if you don't clean it very well, each time you would use the one side or the other, you're going to end up with a big inky mess. And I already do that, so I don't really want more ink. Okay. The other thing on this image that we're going to cut out is this turtle, the sea turtle. And so I'm going to take this and I'm going to use the large honkin' sea turtle. Look how fun he is. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the block E, and I'm going to stamp. And I took off my thing already. Stamp. Now, Pool Party, this ink pad has been kind of giving me some trouble. I might have to re-ink it, might not. But I want to stamp off. So I'm just going to flip this over to the other side that I already stamped, because I just want to show you how this works. All right, that's pretty dang light. Let's see what happens if I don't stamp off. See how we like the, you know, the different looks. So again, I'm going to clean because I've just used the solid side, not the detailed side. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this detailed side off and do this. But then I'm going to grab peacock. What? That's not in the ocean. Pretty peacock? Maybe there's pretty peacock. I don't know. I just really liked the contrast with the Pool Party. So here he is. He's right in front of me. So I have the detailed side up again. I'm going to go ahead and grab this ink, and then I'm going to, I can't do it upside down. It just doesn't work for me. And I'm going to lean over and find and line it up. Photopolymer is super easy to line up. Now, I'm trying to figure out, do I worry about zoom? Do I not worry about zoom? Do I use a different stream that says going right to YouTube and Facebook Live, but then I can't see your comments. There's just all these little issues that I don't really want to pay a lot of money. I'm not going to lie, for this service. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I want your opinions. I know someone already messaged me and said, I love going on YouTube and finding you, which is great because then I have to, and I can do that. I just have to remember, 1, and 2, it takes a little bit of time. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp the images over here. So this is like seaweed. Well, it is seaweed. And again, it has 2 sides, right? So I'm going to go ahead and use, that's too big. I find the bigger the block, the messier I am. So if you're getting smudges on your block, then you might want to consider using a smaller block. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use the soft or the solid side, the non-detailed side, and I'm going to flip it around because I know seaweed doesn't really rotate like it's supposed to, and it doesn't really look all the same. Clean that. And again, I'm going to go over and flip it to the detailed side. Now, something I haven't done yet is post my cleaning your tools and maintaining them. Why? I don't know. You guys have been in a funk. I got to get out of my funk. All right. So I'm going to do that this weekend. If anybody's around town and wants to come play and make sure I'm in my room getting things done, let me know. I haven't sent out my schedule yet, but I'm going to be around for a while. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp these cute little school of fish. I guess that's what it's called, a school of fish. I'm going to go and grab that. I'm stamping that one in Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to go ahead and I guess they're reversible. Get it? Okay, so you can go either way with your fish, either direction. And again, you could also shade them a little bit if you want, but I think they're standing out perfect the way it is. So that's that stamping. Now, the other thing we need to do is these, the sand dollar and the starfish. For the life of me yesterday, I remember what the heck that was called. I'm going to use crumb cake. You're going to see me use crumb cake a lot this week or tonight, this week. Feels like a whole darn week that I've been doing this. Okay, so again, the starfish, it has the detailed side and the smooth side. I'm going to start with the the smooth side. Let's move that out of our way. And I'm going to go ahead and I thought this was a little dark. So I'm going to stamp off. And again, I'm just using the back of that because it's there. Oh, okay, well, maybe not. So this is scrap paper right now. Just pretend. Just go along with me. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the baby star. And I'm going to stamp off. So over here is the stamp off. Over here is the image we're going to cut out, quote unquote. I've already cut it out because no one wants much cut. And then now I have the detailed side stamped. And so you can see, I mean, you could certainly just stamp it that way too. There's just lots of choices. I'm going to go ahead and grab the starfish large, Mr. Large, and do that. So that is basically how you do that. And then you take it away and through the magic of television. Oh, let me show you the sand dollar too. I'm like, there's something I'm missing. Okay, put things back, Leanne. So I'm going to do the sand dollar. I've got the detailed side and the solid side. So I'm going to use the solid side like that. And actually, I'm going to stamp that off. And you'll see why in a minute. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip it around. So I have the detailed side. Now the detailed side, not really that detailed. So if you like it bright and white, that's perfect. If you want it to be a little bit more tone on tone, and this is totally tone on tone. I like this one or this one. I don't like that one, but you know, it's up for discussion. When you're here, you can do whatever you want. How's that? Okay, so that's all of our pieces that we've now cutout and I just fussy cut them. And what I mean by that is taking my paper snips and cutting. And what I showed last night was that when you cut, the thing you want to do is move your paper, not necessarily your scissors. And it's kind of hard to tell. Let me get a little smaller piece. But I think that you get a more controlled cut if you continue moving the paper. I haven't really moved my scissor too much, a little bit, but not much in the way of like, I'm not going here and then like kind of like that. You don't want to do that. You want to just use a smooth movement. Like I said before, no one wants to watch me stain or cut, fussy cut. Okay, so we're going to put this card quick together, quick. And I'm going to grab some twine. Now, there's all kinds of tricks and tips that I have that you might catch and you might not, but I'm going to show you something. I'm going to take my bone folder. I'm going to make this crisp fold, but I'm also going to take my bone folder and the twine that's all curvy wurvy. I'm going to go ahead and smooth it out with my bone folder. Look at that. Curvy wurvy, smooth. Because, curvy wurvy sometimes works, but a lot of times it doesn't. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this around a couple times. And it's okay if you can see that in the inside. The twine just has some dimension. But what I'm going to do, 2 hints. I'm going to put where I connected them under my turtle. I'm also going to not cut it before I tie the knot, because it's a lot easier to tie your knot when you still have a piece that's big enough that's still attached. So that's my little tip for that. Same is true with the bows. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Stampin' Seal. Now I know some of you are getting frustrated with some of the Tombow glue that you use. And I get it. Stampin' Seal is good. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. And so if you're interested, then join. Someone just jumped in on Zoom. Of course, now I can't see that either. That's weird. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my sea turtle. And I put some dimensions on the back because that's the cool part. And you all know how to do this, probs. And then I'm going to go like that. Tie these guys around. Where'd they go? Through the magic television, they've disappeared. Imagine that. Anyway, this is a finished project. Wow, I just threw them all to the side. I'm done with you. All right, so this is kind of a fun, oh good gosh, they're right here. So I could add those, tie them on, and have this really cute card. Okay, that's card 1. I'm going to show you 3 cards tonight and hopefully encourage you to get this great stamp set. Here's our second card. Isn't that fun? You're going to be amazing parents, just because then these are like, baby sea turtles going to the sea. And so I just thought that was very cute. And so let me show you how I made that. This is really more of the technique. This is tone on tone, which you'll be able to figure out. But let me go. I already have my friends cut out. This is a piece of white, basic white cardstock. It's cut 3 inches by 4 inches. This is one of our sheets of masking paper. Masking paper is a lot like a super post-it sticky note. And sometimes it's too sticky. So when I first get and take off, I put it on my pants to kind of dull the grip. And I'm going to go and just put that like that. And then I'm going to grab that like that. That is great grammar. Then I'm going to find my crumb cake stamp pad and open that up. And I'm just going to grab now. Blending brushes. Let's talk a little bit one-on-one about that. You don't want to start blop in the middle, because then you're going to get that. You're going to get a blop and that doesn't look good. You want to start off your paper and just keep adding color until you get the depth of color you want. Always can add more, can't take away, right? So, and I'm going to be putting some turtles on there, so I'm going to call that good, except before I do that, I'm going to grab this set, Color and Contour, because I wanted some speckles on my sand. So I grabbed the speckle stamp. I think every person in the world, whoever stamps, needs a speckle stamp. Gosh, look at, I just added a little bit of something, something. I don't know what it is, but I like it. All right, so I'm going to close that, put that back. Things about putting it back. Then I'm going to go ahead and pull this masking tape off. Now you can see why you got to kind of dull the stickiness. I hate to say that, but and you know what? I think I want my edge up here to be a little bit more pronounced. So I'm going to go ahead and just do what I said not to do and add some darker color. All right. Well, you know, sand. Maybe that's a baby turtle already coming out of the sand. Okay, that's much better. I'm going to use the same piece of paper and I'm going to flip it around. It's getting kind of worn out. So I think what I'll do is I'll just tear, oh my gosh, tear a new skyline. Tearing is your friend. And I'm going to go ahead. What am I doing? I want a little white between the two. So I'm going to go ahead and get balmy blue, and grab some balmy blue with my blending brush again, coming off, starting off on the paper. And you can, again, remember, add as much paper color as you want on your paper. I think that's probably pretty good. Put my brush over there. Now, I don't always clean my brushes. Like I can use this for Night and Navy. You can use it for any color. If you're really particular, you can go wash them and then they have to dry. So that's why I don't always clean them. Okay, so I'm done with balmy blue. Put that away. Here's my turtle, sand. And here are my fun little turtles. I've already done double stamping, the reverse stamping. Now I wanted to show you what color that was, because I don't think you're going to guess it. I think it's a great color combo. I'm going to move this out of our way. I used soft seafoam for the solid image. So let me just show you how that looked. Soft seafoam. Now you could use Old Olive and Stamp Off, but soft seafoam just seemed really like a good color. Old Olive Stamped Off is very similar. So remember, you can always get tons of different colors without having to purchase all of the colors of ink pad. But if you want to, well, you might as well just join, because right now you can get $35 more. So you get like an amazing, enormous amount of stamp products, as well as if you ordered by the end of the day, you get to be free shipping. Oh wait, it's always free shipping for joining. All right, so that's how my little turtle became my turtles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some more dimensionals. So if you're interested in joining, right now to the end of October is this wonderful opportunity. It's like $35 more. So I should have done the math. You still pay $99, but you get either 35% off or $35 more in product. Who's not going to get the extra product? I mean, really? I don't know. I would get the product, but that's just me. And of course, if you've ever been a demonstrator before, you know there's no obligation after you join. You just sign up and you can just not ever order. Although I wanted to point out that if you join today, your first quarter that really matters is April. It's like a really long time away, and we have 2 new catalogs. Okay, so then I'm going to grab my crumb cake blends, because you know these turtles are sliding themselves, they're pulling themselves into the ocean. This idea came from Michelle Zindorf. And I said, oh my gosh, that's genius. I love it. So basically that's just, it looks like poop wreck now actually, but it's really more of the trail. And then I'm just going to add some extra dimension by coloring under those wings, those front legs. They're called front legs, by the way, not wings. Okay, the next part I wanted to show you is that this is just my starfish, multiple of them on one block. Come on. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick them up like this. Grab my crumb cake again. Jeepers, they're clean. They're so clean. Grab my crumb cake again and go ahead and, of course it's working perfectly tonight. No one's watching. Well, maybe somebody's watching. Maybe someone will watch later. I would love to hear some comments. I will. So when I'm done with my Facebook Live, then I have to download the video and then upload it to YouTube. Again, there's a few other things I could do, but you'll notice as I'm stamping this and babbling, I'm twirling the stamp around. So I don't have the same pattern going down, down, down. And so it looks more random. And that's kind of your goal, is random and off your paper. Okay, so let's talk about this part, because this is pretty simple. Well, if I can find it, there we go. That's simple. But this is a great bundle that you could maybe get if you were interested. It's called the Happy Labels bundle. It's in our annual catalog. I should have looked that up. Its number is 160693. Lots the punch. But basically, you can create these layers. So how I did that is I grabbed a piece of white cardstock, and it's 4 1/4 by 7/8 wide. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab, you're going to be great parents. I mean, you could pick whatever you want. But I'm going to use that. I'm going to grab this smaller block because, again, the right size block makes a huge difference. Grab some Night of Navy ink, since I use that on my turtles, and stamp that. Okay. Put my Night of Navy ink away because I will get it all over. Now, how this punch works, many of our punches work better backwards. I don't understand it myself, but we're going to go ahead and just wing it. We're going to push this in. Now, remember, this is not, it's geared towards a 1 inch, a 3/4 inch, and a 1/2 inch. And I, of course, wanted to push the envelope and go in between. So I'm going to make sure that it's spaced well in my punch. And then I'm going to make sure. Now, if you're worried about the words getting chopped off because you're not sure how far to push it in, leave a good space, but otherwise you can turn it around like I just was pretending to do it. I'm going to go ahead and go in here. It does, you want to push it all the way to the edge, and you do want to make sure you're evenly spaced and hold it down. All right. So then the blue, so this was 4 by 7/8. So it's one little hashtag away from the 1 inch. And this is just a tish over 1 inch, barely, by 4 1/4. And then look at how fun that is. It makes for this great layering greeting. And so you have that card. Ta-da! All right. The next card, okay, so I'm just going to keep going. Our next card is just a little bit different, and I haven't really finished it. So we're going to see how this works. I'm going to use soft seafoam cardstock for my base. I'm going to use this paper, which is Hello Irresistible. It's 6 by 6 and it's online only. So you can order it through me at any time, but you can view it better online. And I'm going to use some Pretty Peacock. And that's because these colors coordinate. Before I do that, I want to stamp some fun. So I'm going to take the bubbles makes me want to sing Tiny Bubbles. And I'm going to take the textured part and I'm going to grab my Pool Party yet again. Where'd he go? There he is. That's probably why his ink is pretty sad. All right. Pool Party. Here we go. I'm just going to add a couple little bubbles. You know. But I just thought that this paper, now we did have By the Bay Designer Series paper last quarter, I believe, and that would work fantastic if you have that still in stock. If you don't, then you should have come to you should, it's okay. Okay, well, what am I doing now? Oh, now I'm going to do, if you don't have it, you can maybe find it online, or maybe you can message me. I don't know that I have it downstairs, but you never know. And I'm going to take soft seafoam. You know me, when it's done, it's out of my room. No cluttering. Well, what did I do with soft seafoam? Oh, for crying out Jiminy Crickets. Here it is. Way over there. Well, it couldn't be alive without a mishap, right? That's what I'm going to go with anyway. So I'm going to take my soft seafoam and my seaweed, my kale, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to stamp off a little bit. I'm going to do this. But so the Designer Series paper really just makes it a lot faster for you. Well, that's the problem. Did you see that? So because my block is dirty and my stamp wasn't clean on the solid side, it didn't grab it. So you really got to clean things well. Okay, that's not the side I want. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it around. Make sure I have the solid. I do. We just have to have a little bit of seaweed. I mean, turtles don't exactly swim in the shallow end of the ocean. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal and put that on my peacock paper, and then layer that. And then I have the soft seafoam and Pretty Peacock stamped turtle that I thought I would just add that. Pretty simple, pretty simple. So I think you're getting the idea, I hope, of how this reverse stamping works. The last card is the sample that I have from the buffet. Again, a lot of reverse stamping. I bet you can even tell now, like which parts. So this is Pool Party. This is Crumb Cake. This is my greeting. These are my little embellishments and my ribbon. And so this part is created by the bubbles. Not that the brown bubbles are usually brown, but because the bubbles kind of give you that sand look. And that's when I decided for my other one that the sand really needed to be the speckly things. If that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and just ink up Crumb Cake and just do time and time. And remember, it's kind of inked up really well. So you feel free to stamp off, get violent. I also stamped a little bit last night after my live didn't work. It's just getting all my anger out. Works great. All right, that's that. And then again, the white part, I created the bubbles again with, of course, Pool Party. And I'm gonna open that one up. And I did it both the solid end. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the solid end. And I'm stamping that off, I think, a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and let's kind of create a little, wave, a little action in the ocean. And then I'm going to clean that really well so it sticks. And then I'm going to pull it off. I'm using the wrong block. It was a miracle that it worked. Here we go. And I'm going to use the bubbles, the detailed part, to kind of give it more texture and more depth. There. So the rest, you can kind of come to your own conclusion, I would bet. This is Lost Lagoon stamped off and then stamped on. This is very vanilla because I wanted it to be just a little bit different than bright white. Layer it all together and you have a really adorable card. All right. Well, thank you for joining me or watching the replay. Again, my name is Leanne Furness and I'm going to try to be live. I'm going to try to be live Wednesdays, 4 or 4:30, 4:35. I don't know. I can't decide. I just don't even know what to do. Maybe I should do a poll. Should I do it at 2? Should I do it at 4? I don't know. What if I have something fun to do? You just never know. All right, people, I'm going to download this and upload it to YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay, let me know what you think. Bye. I wanted to end the live, but it's kind of hung up now. This is why I don't like Zoom. Okay, let's try it one more time. No.